You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
But my first inclination is to say that this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram.
Welcome back to the Buzzer Update. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm here today with another brand new Buzzer Update that I think you'll love. So be sure to stick with me all the way through. To let me know that you are a part of the community, please leave a CC 100% in the comments if you are a true fan of Caitlin Clark. Let's get right into today's story without wasting any more time. What would happen if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed the most gifted young athlete in the WNBA being singled out through dubious means? You'll find out because Michael Jordan's explosive comments about Brittney Griner's behavior against Caitlin Clark have absolutely affected the basketball world. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen an outstanding athlete targeted the way Caitlin Clark has been throughout her career? Michael Jordan's perspective on the WNBA has completely changed as a result of what he saw during the Connecticut Sun game. Brittney Griner is devastated by this part of Michael Jordan's viewpoint. Right now, Michael Jordan is exactly where Caitlin Clark is. In the 1980s, Michael Jordan was the best player in a league full of amazing athletes. And because they couldn't match his excellent basketball IQ, they sought to physically frighten him. But Michael Jordan highlighted this important fact. Brittney Griner's reputation gets quite fascinating at this point. Michael Jordan is aware of the distinction between what he saw with Caitlin Clark and what he witnessed in the mob scenario in championship-level competitive basketball. "It was the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades," he said. Yes, you heard correctly. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. It may surprise you to learn that almost 90% of viewers have not yet subscribed. Even though it only takes a second and is free, it means the world to us. Have you already subscribed? Fantastic. I sincerely appreciate your help. Let's return to the video now.
As far as I understand, it's mostly women without penises, but I leave that to you to figure it. Well, it's actually a little unclear because this Brittney Griner, a lot of people think she's a dude, but in any event, Brittney Griner is a black basketball player who some people think is a man.
The video shows a glimpse of what life was like for WNBA star Brittney Griner inside Russian prison. She spent her days carrying fabric because she was too tall to sit at the sewing tables where other prisoners worked. Her bed was too small for her 6'9" frame. Griner was arrested back in February for traveling with hashish oil, a substance banned in Russia. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison in August. Her release part of a prisoner swap for Victor Bout, a convicted Russian arms dealer.
Michael Jordan sobbed after seeing the video of Brittney Griner abusing Caitlin Clark. Almost no one in basketball history had a deeper understanding of what pure competitive fire looked like than this man, who faced well-known enforcers like Dennis Rodman and Bill Lamire. However, even he could see that Brittney Griner's actions went against the standards of competitive integrity and sportsmanship. But hear what Michael Jordan has to say about the timing of that shove. Currently, Brittney Griner is deeply disappointed by his analysis. The basketball player brought up a topic that many fans had been considering, but no one with his level of fame had the courage to do so. Playing championship-level defense is not the same as taking cheap shots at a player when they're totally exposed and not looking. According to Michael Jordan, his time was considered the most physically demanding in NBA history. When you disagree with someone, you confront them like a warrior rather than waiting for their back to turn before acting like a predator. And that's precisely what made Michael Jordan furious about Brittney Griner's heinous behavior. But right now, Michael Jordan's criticism has entirely ruined Brittney Griner's reputation. The senior Boston Celtics player was extremely enraged by Brittney Griner's pitiful post-event response. In other words, Michael Jordan was successful in characterizing Brittney Griner as a second-rate player who uses immoral tactics because she lacks the actual basketball talents to match better promise. This is the point at which Michael Jordan's research really shines and highlights an intriguing facet of Caitlin Clark. Michael Jordan sees in Caitlin Clark the same unique traits that made him one of the greatest basketball players in history. Her extraordinary basketball IQ, her inexplicable ability to make clutch shots, and most importantly, her heavenly capacity to elevate everyone around her. However, as someone who values basketball ethics, he also notices something that truly worries him. Instead of concentrating just on realizing her limitless basketball potential, this exceptionally gifted young athlete must always be on the alert for cheap shots and dirty tricks. According to Michael Jordan, Brittney Griner's strategy embodies all that is wrong with certain players' decision to play Caitlin Clark rather than challenging themselves to match her extraordinary skill level or outwork her on the court via commitment and preparation. The fact that she is physically attacked when she is most vulnerable is a troubling trend. Michael Jordan claims that this behavior is the worst kind of basketball competition he has ever witnessed. But as a result, Michael Jordan's controversial remarks became the topic of the basketball world. Michael Jordan was quick to point out something that elevates Caitlin Clark and puts her position in the right context, even though he related the circumstances surrounding her to his own experiences with physical harassment at work. He noted that 22-year-old Caitlin Clark is facing far more hardship than most athletes experience throughout their careers, all the while bearing the burden of becoming the undisputed face of women's basketball. However, Michael Jordan's remarks regarding Brittney Griner's prospects in the NBA, which are currently trending on social media, are unbelievable. According to Michael Jordan, if the WNBA permits players like Brittney Griner to pursue superstars without experiencing consequences, it conveys the idea that mediocre players can utilize unethical strategies to stay relevant instead of honing their actual basketball skills. According to him, this sets a risky precedent that could discourage players who are boosting the standard for the league. Michael Jordan even went so far as to say that young players who watch at home are duped by the league's inability to sufficiently penalize these behaviors. He feels that viewing the WNBA should teach children about skill, dedication, and sportsmanship rather than how to choose inferior opponents. However, Michael Jordan's forecast for Caitlin Clark's future in spite of these obstacles was arguably the most important aspect of his entire statement. He claimed that Caitlin Clark was shaped by hardship and that every cheap shot, dirty play, and attempt to intimidate her just strengthened her resolve to demonstrate her superiority using only her basketball skills. Michael Jordan likened Caitlin Clark's predicament to his own rookie season, when opponents continuously put his physical stamina to the test. He pointed out that Caitlin Clark is dealing with this conduct in addition to the unheard-of media attention and expectations that come with being the most marketable player in WNBA history. Michael Jordan's backing of Caitlin Clark is essential for this reason. He is defending more than just a gifted athlete. He is standing up for basketball's inherent purity. He believes that Caitlin Elizabeth Clark embodies all the qualities that make basketball special, such as talent, vision, class, and competitiveness. Additionally, he sees everything that may be harmful to the sport in competitors like Brittney Griner. The basketball veteran stated unequivocally that the WNBA is at a pivotal moment. There are two options available to them. Either they continue to let poorer players utilize dishonest methods to stay relevant, or they protect and highlight their best players, enabling stars like Caitlin Clark to realize their full potential and improve the league as a whole. Michael Jordan's message was clear. The decision chosen will determine the league's future, yet everyone is debating this issue. Will players like Brittney Griner continue to use dubious tactics to damage the league's reputation? Or will the WNBA take Michael Jordan's precautions about safeguarding Caitlin Clark seriously? Let's carry on the discussion in the comments section below. What are your thoughts on Michael Jordan's severe critique of Brittney Griner's actions? Do you believe his complaints are entirely valid? Or do you think he's being overly critical? More importantly, in the comments section below, do you think the WNBA will eventually take action to safeguard its brightest star? Please share your opinions. I read each and every one of them. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more analysis like this that breaks through the clutter and tells you what's actually happening in basketball. Caitlin Clark's situation in the WNBA might eventually change as a result of Michael Jordan's controversial remarks. The basketball community is keeping an eye on this problem. As this story develops, one thing becomes more difficult to ignore. Discussions are no longer limited to one game, one hard foul, or one controversial occurrence. It has to do with the future of women's basketball, the standards the league wants to uphold, and how its best players are treated when the spotlight is shining. Few athletes have ever had to contend with the kind of expectations that Caitlin Clark faced before entering the WNBA. Every game she plays is watched by millions of people. Every action she does is scrutinized from every angle. Every success is celebrated, and every setback garners media attention. That's what it means to be one of the biggest names in basketball today. Meanwhile, veterans from all throughout the league continue to compete at the highest level, bringing years of experience, tenacity, and pride to every match. The WNBA's goal is to ensure that fierce competition never devolves into unnecessary or dangerous play. Intense music is what fans want. Rivalries are what they want. They are searching for authentic basketball, but they also want respect, justice, and stability. Because Michael Jordan is a living example of what it's like to perform under duress. His comments have sparked heated debate. During his legendary career, Michael Jordan faced some of the strongest opponents and fiercest defenders basketball has ever seen. But his message was more than simply toughness. It was about maintaining the integrity of the game and making sure that basketball skill, rather than controversy, remains the primary focus. There is no denying that Michael Jordan's comments have generated discussion. Whether you completely agree with his perspective or believe the situation has been exaggerated, fans, commentators, former players, and media personalities continue to debate what should happen when the league's best players become the focal point of physical play. Do authorities need to be stricter? Is this a normal part of being a professional basketball player, or should the league impose harsher penalties? Everybody seems to react differently. There is no doubt about Caitlin Clark's response. Instead of letting controversy, physical defense, or criticism define her career, she has continued to focus on basketball. She keeps competing, showing up, and proving why so many believe she is the future of sports. Her perseverance is one of the primary reasons her followers continue to support her. The WNBA is receiving unprecedented attention. Discussions on social media are growing every day. Television ratings are rising, arenas are full, and new fans are discovering women's basketball for the first time. These kinds of situations affect not just a single player or team, but also the league's perception around the world. As the season goes on, each game will become much more vital. Every game Caitlin Clark participates in will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed. Every official ruling will be contested. Every game will also add to the narrative of one of the most talked about seasons in WNBA history. The most crucial question is now yours. Do you believe that Michael Jordan's comments truly reflect the league's present situation? Do you think the WNBA is allowing competitive physical basketball while taking enough safety measures to protect its stars? What impact do you think the entire situation will have on Caitlin Clark, Brittney Griner, and the league in the future? I genuinely want to know the opinions of basketball enthusiasts worldwide. Please feel free to express your opinions in the space provided for comments below. The courteous conversation in this group is fantastic, and your point of view may be featured in a future film. If you enjoy this analysis and want more in-depth basketball analysis, exclusive updates, and the biggest news surrounding the WNBA, NBA legends, and Caitlin Clark, make sure to hit the subscribe button, activate notifications, and never miss another upload. Basketball history is being written every night. I appreciate you watching and your wonderful support. This is where you'll find out about the next chapter, which might be even more important than this one. Please share your thoughts in the comments section to make sure you don't miss anything. Turn on all notifications and subscribe. We'll see you in the following video once you click the one on the screen.